Guys, good morning. A little reluctant to make this video. I'm quite fatigued from last night, but I thought, no, you gotta do your back testing. If you watched the previous video, thank you. The pound US dollar is still, pardon me, in my opinion, a potential buy trade, and I'll be monitoring that. I don't like to sit and just watch the charts, so after this, I'll be looking into some stock trading, and I won't be dabbling too much into just looking at the chart. So the main moves happen for me later on, like 8 o'clock at night. At least 5 o'clock I'll check to see. And I'd like to see it. It's actually retraced a little bit Monday and early today. And I just like to see it, pull back a little bit again, a little bit more today. And then later on, I want to see it gain some strength again. And that would be good. And then, if it doesn't, well, Wednesday, Thursday is still possible, but if it doesn't happen, there's no trade. That's just simple. So, and the USD CAD is in drawdown. It's not a big position. So, look, just looking at it, it looks like it's gone quite far from the entry, and it will probably stop me out. So, that's my expectation. That's a good expectation to have, and you just let it go. And if it doesn't, and if it turns good, then that'd be a surprise, but won't hold the breath. Alright, so let's get the calculator out. Sorry, just still warming up to the day. Alright, so we did 2 months last session, so I've done 14 months. Obviously, I run the data for 12 months just to get some key points of support and resistance. So if we go to the daily chart, alright, so there was a slight tradable signal here, but I wasn't really keen on that. So if we go to the weekly, this could be a newly defined, let's get the line here, this might be a support. Yeah, that is. Yeah. We want to make sure it's around 300 pips. So 287 acceptable. There's a couple of touches, and that's, not an exact science for this as well, guys. That's the key thing to remember. People think that you apply, exacting mathematics and whatnot and analysis, you're going to be correct. Unfortunately, it's not the case. Things happen because humans trade the markets, so they're not predictable. Things happen. Sentiment changes. You've got to be willing to adapt. Okay. All right. So we're ready to go. We didn't do any trades last session. Okay, so we might be in a little bit of consolidation here, perhaps. Sorry, there's some stuff on the keyboard. Okay, that's better. Lovely day in Perth today too. Nice little breeze coming in, and it's not too loud outside, touch wood. It's actually nice, so I'm not getting too much background noise, which is really pleasant. I'm just going to sip this coffee and run this. So this is a new project as well. It's the pound US dollar. I went 120 months with the euro US dollar. It was around 18% return, which, it was 9 years, because again I run 12 months to collect data for support and resistance. So 9 years, that's 2%. What is it? Yeah, 2% a year. Okay, so that's not really great, is it? No, that's pretty lousy. So I got better probably after halfway through. So most of that was 13% was made in the last 5 years. So that's a little bit better. That's 5% a year at least. Alright, so that is an enormous move there. So what we will likely see is a pullback, but if we get a bounce, it's a big move as well. Crazy. And it's got to be above the midline as well for me. And so the 55 will be over the 200-day. But I still want to see the price action over that midline, which is a 20-day moving average. The midline comes just with the Bollinger Band when you input it in. So This is how it goes. Well, to me, an upward trend is developing. So an aggressive entry would be this. This is a nice little candle, but in the context, it's a bit wicky, so I'm not gonna. It does that. Does that. I'm gonna sip the coffee. Whew. Whew. How we're looking on the trend side of things. Nope, I want to do the daily. Look, I'm gonna take this one. I do expect it to retrace a little bit. 91. It's a pretty small little position. Okay. Buy stuff. Amateur. 91. So it's a 1 hour trailing. But I will at times close it out with discretion if it crosses over the 20-day moving average over the midline. If it hasn't already hit the stop loss. Yeah, we got it. Okay, so that is at the stop loss. Okay, that's the stop loss. So we'll get the open positions on. So that was good. Oh, I don't think my. Oh, okay, so I just need a dot. All right, so this is a good trial run. So that should read $100, but yeah, so that's fine. I'll just adjust the lot sizing. That's okay. So okay. So that means I'll just multiply by 10. So instead of what I did there, it would just be. But that's alright. It's fine. And it's pretty much 2 months into it, guys. So just imagine that was 100 and 120. Okay. Because it's 1% at risk per position. That's how I'm backtesting this. So in total, I would have made $222. So that's not too bad. But I should have mentioned that. So to adjust this, but what I typically do is just easier. It's been a little while since I've data center, and you'd want to go to the pound, which is down there. Change properties. What size? 1,000. The default stuff's fine for the swaps. Margin for one lot. 1,000. I might just leave it as is and then just adjust it with my calculation. I'll just times it by 10. That's fine. Okay, guys, so we'll continue on. So that's not a bad little trade. If I got in here, it would have been a real nice little run of it. We'll see. We'll see how this one goes. So that would have probably hit the trailing. The trailing was quite close. That's nice though. Are we near a? Oh, okay, we're getting sort of close to that, but not really. So very bullish. I probably wait till it gets clear of that as well. So that's it done, guys. Thank you for watching. So just one trade, and I'll update where I took that as well with a time log. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.